Keith, when we coming back to the Sundome?
Who knows, man? If we really gotta take this mandatory, we might bring it back home.
So, when you and Kenny Porter on this, because he been more talking to Sean.
Look, man. There's another reason why I want to get this knockout. I want to get this knockout, and then I want to look at Kenny Porter and ask him, did he feel it? Because the truth is, he don't feel shit. And because he ain't the one taking shit, he needs to cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? But that's the purpose of talking shit anyways. Just try to get under people's skin, you know. And then, if you talk shit and you win your shit, might as well talk some more shit. So, that's why I say, man, talk is talk. We'll see what happens in this fight.
So Keith, how do you counteract a guy like Porter with so much activity inside the ring, constantly throwing punches? Is a bit of a mauler sometimes on the inside.
You know, to focus on going straight up the middle, staying tight, staying real tight, short, little combinations. Keep them on the outside, defensive movement. Make him back up a few times. He's not the same fighter moving backwards as he is forward.
When you had him in here in the ring, how effective is that side-to-side movement that he does? Kind of similar to Tyson, when he's bobbing and weaving left and right. Was it effective for you?
It's very non-effective for me.
Oh, really?
You'll see in the fight, but one of my sparring partners does the same exact movement, and he's unsuccessful with it every time. So I feel well prepared because of what my sparring partner does in the ring. He jukes, he moves, he rolls his head, and he springs at you in the same manner that Sean Porter does. So we feel great. Chris, get this, I want to take this shirt off.
When you ever assessing fighters, you know, watching tape, whatever the case may be, just when you were commentating, do you ever chuckle sometimes? I mean, I see Sean, he does like this foot stomp. Do you chuckle at that? Like, I don't know, I'm not a fighter, but I don't think that a foot stomp would intimidate me in the ring.
Not on a world-class level, no. You know, I really don't chuckle at how people choose to approach their fights. I just look at moments and opportunities where either they did not capitalize on a moment. Let's say when Robert Guerrero, the way he was backing up Danny Garcia, the way he had Garcia in the corner a few times, he just didn't attack properly. Sometimes he was too timid and allowed Danny to escape and things of that nature. So I just pay attention more or less to how people capitalize on a certain moment that they worked for in the fight. Sometimes people are pressing fighters really good, they got them up against the ropes, and then they do nothing. So it took 15 seconds to get them in that position, and then 5 seconds go by and now you let them out of that position, so you just wasted that time for nothing. When you could have been dominant for that 15-second period if only you would have let your hands go. So I just like I said, smart fighters win, dumb fighters lose, man. You have 12 3-minute rounds. You know, it's all about each and every 3-minute performance in that ring. That's the way I break it down.
So, Chem, are you going into this fight thinking about being more efficient because you know what type of fighter Porter is? He's going to try to outwork you.
Yeah, he's definitely going to try to outwork.
So, I mean, is it about being efficient for you?
It is about being efficient. You know, Kell Brook was able to win the match through his efficiency. So we're going in with a similar game plan. The other thing, though, about fighters that like to throw a lot of punches is you can throw punches if somebody stands there. Adrian Broner would stand there. He'd lock his feet up, and he would stand there, and he'd back up, get on the ropes, and he'd stand there. You know, I'm not a fighter that's known to be standing there. So by moving around the ring, I should be harder to hit. Thus, my movement should minimize his output to a degree. He's still going to be pressing really hard, trying to let his hands go, but I always say they can't score what doesn't touch you. You know, if he hits you here, hits you there, hits you here, then hits you once in the head, the judges see a beautiful 5-punch combo. You know, instead of the 1 punch that landed. You know.
With that, right? There's been so much, obviously, with this sparring session. You've even said you're gonna let me see it. I'm here for that. But from there came the runtime game. And you're speaking of defense and not being there the way that Broner was.
Yeah.
How do you not, I guess, how does the public not receive it as just running?
Does the public pick up my paycheck? Do they sign my paycheck? Do they cash my paycheck? Does the public sweat like I do? Work like I do? Do they have my dream? Do they have my vision? You know, you have to love and respect the public, and then you have to disregard them at the same time. You know, first off, understand the sport that you are watching. It is boxing. The definition of boxing is to hit and not get hit. The real art of boxing is being a circle fighter, okay? Because fans want to see fighters. Fighters move in a straight line. Circle fighters are true boxers who utilize the ring in the movement that makes it difficult for a straightforward fighter to attack. You can't go straight in to a circle. You can go straight into a wall. You can't go straight into a circle. They're gonna carry you. And this is why you see certain fighters do this. They do this when they're following. You know, Shawn Porter is more intelligent than that. He's not simply gonna be following, he's gonna be cutting off the ring and constantly reapplying the pressure. But that's part of the match, that's part of the sport, that's part of the fun. You know, so, you know, I can't say how much it's gonna look like proper movement, how much it's gonna look like, you know, too much movement. Too much movement is when they say someone's running away, you know. But until you see my feet doing this, baby, we ain't running.
But why is that even like a thought? And not, you hear announcers say it too, you know, it's not like it's being interjected just by the fans. But if you got a guy like Mayweather or even a Crawford or Pernell Whitaker, these were boxers.
Yeah.
It takes talent not to be hit.
It takes talent.
Why does it have to be considered avoiding, running, not wanting to engage? Why is it not just being more intelligent? I mean, I look at it, it's simple mathematics for me too.
Yeah.
You can't hit me, you're not better than me.
You're not winning. Yeah, you can't win. You know? I mean, because, all right, the people are always going to try to demand something, right? And in politics and everything, people are going to demand something, you know? So the people demand a good fight. And the definition of a good fight is seeing both people get beat up. Let's be real. Let's be real. Some of the best fights of the year, when you look at them, there's just two people who got two offenses and no defenses, you know? But it's just what comes with the sport, man. It's what comes with the sport. It's frowned upon to a degree like you're talking about, it gets a little bit of bad talk, but it takes such tremendous skills to be able to perform like that, to pull that off, to make somebody miss their punch, to read them and adjust on the fly every second, millisecond, then mix in some counters the way Floyd does, the way other fighters have, the way that I do. And these are skills and talents, and you know, you need to always, the fighter needs to work with his strengths and his weaknesses, you know. So if one of his strengths is avoiding not being hit, you know, then that's what he's gonna do. Plus, if you can't hit me, you can't beat me. You know, it's defense. Boxing is a very funny sport because in all team sports, defense is praised upon, right? Boxing is the only sport where defense is somewhat frowned upon. But I tell all the young fighters, to make it to the top, it takes a good defense, because at a certain level, everybody knows how to fight. But defense with offense determines how well you truly are. It takes a combination of both. You must, to be at this level, bring in a high quality defense to stay at the top. You know, I mean, Mike Tyson, great offensive fighter. The lack of defense is what pulled him down in the long run.
Keith, you're a car man, right? So if Keith Thurman was a car, how many cylinders, how many gears? Is he an automatic or is he an manual?
Well, we're definitely a manual, man. You know, 6-speed. Man.